What? It's working worse now. That's really weird. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to my channel, Retro Stash Repairs. I recently got another Bop It for parts off of eBay. So today's video will basically be part 2 of the previous video where I was trying to fix a Bop It for parts. If you haven't seen that video, make sure to check it out. The link will be in the description. Basically, the one that I was trying to fix before this one, it was all out of whack, if you don't remember that. As you press the buttons, it was just doing the opposite and like making the twisting sound, and it was all working like really weird. So make sure to check that out. Or not, you can just continue watching, whatever floats your boat. But I'm going to go ahead and look at this, open it up, and see what's wrong with it. What I'm trying to find out is if I can get it to work when working, at least if it works normal. And using this board, this game, I can determine what's wrong with the other one. Or at least try to find out. Alright, I did actually ask the seller what was wrong with it, and they just said cosmetic, As you can see, it's missing the twist. And they also said corrosion, or I think they said battery acid. And yeah, I can clearly see that here. So I'm not even going to test it out first. I'm just going to go ahead and try to clean these contacts and try to turn it on first. Try using some sandpaper first and see if I can get it clean enough where it will actually make contact. If not, I'll have to give it a deeper clean. Give those contacts a deeper clean with some vinegar or something. I mean, the contacts themselves don't look too bad, but you can definitely tell there's some battery acid on there. Alright, let's try that. See if I get something going. Nope, nothing. Huh. Oh, so that's good. It sounded like it's working normal. And so the pullet's not working too well. Might be the actual switch in the inside. I can't even test out the twist. But
twist it. Pull it.
Yeah, so the pullet's really not working. I wonder if the twist is working. So far, it looks like it's working normal, at least. The only problem would be the actual, button in the inside, the actual switch.
Bop it. Bop it. Bop it. Twist it. Pull it.
I want to see if I can pull hard enough and see if it'll work.
Twist it. Pull it. Pull it. Bop it. Hand it. Twist it.
Alright, so yeah, it's working normal. The only problem is going to be the switch on the inside. It probably needs replacing.
Twist it.
it's weird because it works when I do this, but then when it's actually saying pull it and I try to pull it
Twist it.
and actually try pulling it, it's not registering the pull. So hopefully that doesn't give me too much problem, but at least it works more normal. So I'm going to go ahead and take it apart and see what we can do with the other one to find out what's wrong with it. I finally was able to take out the screws. I actually had trouble taking some out. Where are they at? Some of them were pretty, like, starting to get stripped, so someone has definitely messed with this. I'm not sure if they just tried to take it apart and weren't successful, or they actually took it apart to try to fix it some sort of way. Wonder if it has to do with the pullet, but I'm not sure yet. So at least I got it apart now, and I'll see what the inside looks like. Oh dang, this is actually a different color board. I'm not sure if it's different year, because I know there's two versions of the original. Alright, before I take the board apart, like completely take it out, because I'm actually going to do that, try to get a few components switched around with the other one, see if I can figure out what's wrong with it. But before that, I'm going to go ahead and twist it. And right away, I can tell someone actually had already taken the other one apart, because that one was missing this spring. So potentially both of these have been messed around with. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and test it out and see if that twisted works. If I can actually get the battery in without flying across the room. All right, here you go. I'm actually gonna take this apart first. It's gonna make it a lot easier. All right, now I can go ahead and test it.
Twist it. Pull it.
Ah.
Pop it.
I think I'm just gonna use my fingers.
Twist it. Pull it.
Yeah, this tactile switch is definitely faulty. It's not registering. Probably needs to be cleaned or replaced. But let's go ahead and keep testing it. The good thing is the twister is working.
Pop it. Pull it.
Yeah, I can't get to it.
Twist it. Twist it. Pass it. Pull it.
Yeah, the pullet's not working.
Pull it. Twist it. Pull it.
But at least I know it's working how it should. It just needs a new switch or something. So I'm gonna go ahead and continue taking it all apart and then try a couple of components, the ones I think are the main issue on the other one. Alright, so I'm gonna dive right in by desoldering these wires. And for reference, here's the other one. And I'll actually desolder these wires as well to get those boards free, and then start switching around the parts and see what I can find out. Alright, I'm going to start off by desoldering these two. And one by one, I'm going to be switching it around the board. You know, from this one from this board to this board, and then test it and see what it does. And then this one to this board and then test it if it's still not working. Alright, so now that the batteries are in, I'm going to go ahead and test it and see what it does this time. I replaced this side of this component right here. It has the good working one now, so let's see if that did anything to it. Nope. Yeah, it's still acting funny. What? Okay, yeah, so it's definitely not working. I think it probably sounds funnier than it did before. What? It's working worse now. That's really weird. So I'm gonna try to change this one out and see if what that does this time. Alright, now that I have this one in now, from the good working one, so they're both now removed. I'm going to go ahead and test it again and see if it does anything different this time.
Twist it. Pop it. Twist it. Pull it.
Ah, I didn't do it in time.
Pop it. Pull it. Hand it. Pop it. Pull it. Twist it. Pop it. Hand it. Pull it. Twist it. Twist it.
Ah, okay. So, yes, this is definitely working now. So what ended up being is this part right here. This component right here was the culprit. So it's completely working now. And that's what I wanted at least to know what was wrong with it. So, yeah, there is a solution to my problem. This component on this side, the bigger one, that was faulty. You know, unfortunately, I was kind of hoping it would end up being the capacitor or something. It'd be easier to fix because now I'm going to be left with one that's faulty no matter what. So what I'm actually going to end up doing is this board is actually in a lot better condition. So I'm going to put these back. And what I want to try to do, I know it's extra work, but I'd rather keep the nicer board and then just get rid of this one. I mean, look at this one. They put hot glue on here. It's just, it has extra glue on parts. Some of the components were really bent. And I mean, it's a nicer green color, but this one's just in better shape. So I'd rather keep it that way and just replace the, which one was it? I think, yeah, it was the pull it I want to try replacing the pull it button and see if it works after that. Because remember, this one, the pull it wasn't working really well, but it works on this one, so I'll just swap these two components again, and put them both apart, and I'll have a completely working one after that. So I'm actually just going to change these out really quick off camera, and then these I'll just put them on this one later on. But I'm going to go ahead and put the pull it switch, tactile switch, on this board, and then put it all together and give it a try after that. So I'll go ahead and get started. Alright, so after putting the two components on the original board, I put the original faulty one back in the first board I got, as well as the other component. And I was like, okay, well, maybe it was just the pads somehow, weren't getting enough contact, weren't seated properly or something, soldered properly. But after testing out, no. It's still doing the same thing. It's not working, and it's working how it was the very first time from the first video. So yeah, it's officially confirmed that, this component is the main problem. It's not working. So yeah, unfortunately, there's no real way to fix that. Maybe one day, getting another Bop It that's completely destroyed or something with a working chip, then it'll work. But for now, it doesn't. So I'm going to go ahead and desolder this. And what I'm going to do is use this board on the original shell housing, because it's actually in better condition than the new one I got. It's just really bad, missing the twist part. So, and then I'm gonna replace the tactile switch on the pull part, and hopefully it works after I switch it out. I'm actually gonna use my solder sucker for this one. Just to make things go a little quicker. My solder sucker got stuck. Probably built-in solder. It's actually quite funny today. I read a Reddit post, or saw a Reddit post of someone that posted a picture of their solder sucker. Some modder or electronic repair guy. And he was like, so I got a new toy in today for my repairs. And the solder sucker was huge. Like, it wouldn't fit in this picture right now. It was huge. I mean, that thing didn't even look like a solder sucker. It looked like some sort of pump. So there were some funny, hilarious jokes on there. Everybody was cracking some jokes. And actually use a combination with the soldering wick, because it just doesn't sometimes pick up all the way. Alright, let's see if that did the trick. Yep. I'm just going to go ahead and take off the good one and put it on the good board. Alright, so now that I'm done, I'll go ahead and get a quick test again with the multimeter and confirm it's working. Gosh, this is the hard part again. Okay, so it's definitely working better. Hopefully it doesn't give me any problems. Might try to put some IPA real quick and press down on the button a few times just to make sure. But after that, I'll go ahead and put it all together, as well as in the shell, and then hopefully I have a fully working boppet after that. Alright, so I just got these wires soldered in. Unfortunately, my camera stopped recording and I didn't get that. I ran out of space, so I had to go delete some files and stuff. So I have it all together now. It's just the only thing that's left is to put the whole boppet together. But before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and test it out and make sure it's all working now. Especially that tactile switch I replaced.
Pop it. Pull it. Pop it. Twist it. Twist it. Pass it. Pop it. Pull it. Twist it. Pull it.
Okay, I messed up, but yeah. So the pull is definitely working now. I'm hoping it still works when it's all put back together. So that's the last thing to do, and then I'll have a fully working boppet again. I'm actually going to kind of Frankenstein this. I'm going to take the better parts from each and then to make one. And then just later on, go ahead and put the other one back together later on some free time or something. Alright, so I'm all done now, completely putting it back together, and it's time to test it out. But before that, man, it was such a pain putting it back together because of the twisted part. I'll show the other one for reference, even though I don't have the twist handle. But basically, and then there's a spring that's supposed to go here, but this one was missing it. And I don't think it fell out or anything, because I mean, I never saw anything from the last video. So the twisted part goes here, this part, and the top shell part keeps it together. So when it twists, it presses down on the button, but it's just loose like that until you put it back together, and it's a pain putting it on. So yeah, and then if y'all wanted to know how the pull is pretty simple. It just works this way. Just you pull it and it presses down on the button. And this one works each time you push this, which either way, the spring up here is what actually presses the tactile switch. That's pretty weird, but that's how it works. So yeah, there you have it. So it's time to give it a test run, and hopefully it all works. Hopefully I don't have any problems with it. Here goes nothing.
Pull it. Tap it. Twist it. Pop it. Pull it. Tap it. Pop it. Pop it. Pull it. Tap it. Twist it. Pull it. Pop it.
Okay, so yeah, the bop it button isn't really working all that great, but I'll probably go ahead and later and clean those tactile switches. But I mean, at least it works now completely, so I have a complete working one now, and I'll probably just put this one back together, probably resell it for parts or something. But yeah, there you have it. I mean, I figured out the problem, was able to get a fully working one. So that does it for today's video. If y'all like this kind of content and want to continue watching more, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to hit that notification bell button. And also make sure to check out my first part of this video or any of my other videos on my channel. Thank you all again for watching. See you next time.